Guys, Will here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing the all-new 2024 Subaru Outback Touring XT.
And a big thanks to Birch Smith Subaru in St. Petersburg, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to their inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car or SUV in the St. Petersburg, Tampa, Clearwater area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out.
And for those of you guys who don't know, the Outback has been Subaru's all-wheel drive wagon since 1996. That's when the first generation was released. The 6th generation Outback that you see here was released in 2020, and there have been a few updates since, starting with the all-new top off-road wilderness trim being released in 2022 that we've already reviewed on this channel, featuring an off-road suspension, beefier tires, and a 9.5-inch ground clearance versus the 8.7-inch ground clearance on the other trims. We also get a new 2.4-liter turbo boxer 4-cylinder, cranking out 260 horsepower, 277 pound-feet of torque, which can do 60 in under 6 seconds versus the standard 2.5's 8.5 to 8.7 second 0 to 60. It can also tow an additional 800 pounds rated at 3,500 pound max towing versus the standard 2,700 pound max towing for the 2.5. We've reviewed the 2.5. It wasn't terrible. We reviewed the 2023 Onyx Edition, which featured a subtle facelift, which of course carries over to the 2024 models. And here we have the top 2024 Outback Touring XT trim with a base price a tick under 43,000 bucks. What else do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So up front, you notice your flickering LED daytime running lights are not actually flickering in real life. Full LED projector headlamps, LED fog lights standard for the 2024 Outbacks on all trims. But since this is a top Touring XT trim, we get a forward-facing camera. The Subaru badge houses your advanced safety features. I like the flat black trim on the grille too, and this gray metallic paint for the center of this grille makes this front end pop even more. We mentioned the Subaru badge houses your advanced safety features. The heat extractors in the corners are not functional, unfortunately, but we still get plenty of airflow for the front radiator and top mounted intercooler, which, as you'll see, has some nice induction pieces for the top part of the grille and top part of the hood. It says Subaru on the side of these headlights too. Hopefully you can pick it up on camera, and those daytime running lights, of course, running all throughout. The wheel and tire setup is upgraded for this top Touring XT trim. You get these 18-inch rims, which are gunmetal gray and silver contrasted, wrapped in Yokohama Avid GT all-season tires, dimensions being 225/60 R18. So pretty beefy setup. Not the most off-road ready tire setup. If you need the off-road ready Outback, go for the Wilderness, but it's still pretty decent with the all-wheel drive. You get some plastic cladding surrounding the wheel wells, so if you do take it off-road, you don't have to worry about scratching up your blue metallic paint. We get a little bit more plastic cladding in the fender corner area and in the rocker panel side skirt area, which says Outback. We get smart access for the driver and the front passenger. A little bit of shiny chrome surrounding the window trim. We get this metallic or metal finish for the mirror itself, LED turn signal on the mirror. We don't get blind spot monitoring on the glass. It's on the inside part of the mirror itself. The glass is heated though. We mentioned the smart access for the driver and the front passenger. Same rear wheel and tire setup. The only difference is a smaller brake caliper. We get roof rails up top, which are aluminum, not shiny chrome. Out rear, we get full rear parking sensing too. We get full front parking sensing up front, if I didn't mention. LED taillights, the turn signals and reverse lights though appear to be halogen. Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive badge, Subaru badge in the center, Outback Touring XT badge in the right corner. That's about it though, guys. We can take a squad back here, get a good look at the dual exhaust tips for this 2.4-liter boxer turbo 4-cylinder. And speaking of that, let's fire it right up and hear how she sounds. Alright guys, that was the sound of the 2.4-liter boxer turbo 4-cylinder sold by Subaru for the 2024 Outback Touring XT, and it sounds okay. Makes a lot of power at 260 horsepower, 277 pound-feet of torque, enough to get this about 3,700 pound wagon, SUV, whatever you want to call it, made it to a CVT to 60 in under 6 seconds, making it a no-joke performer. You notice the top-mounted intercooler with functional hood scoops and air intakes for it. What you see is basically what we get. We can shut this hood right down. It's burning the crap out of my hand because we don't have hydraulic struts. I have to deal with the prop rod, and I was using my hand for the prop rod. But anyway, let's take a step inside, see what we get for the top Touring XT trim for the 2024 Outback. Again, smart access for the driver and the front passenger. We're turning these lights back to auto so the car is not yelling at me. But up top, we have the soft touch material for the front part of the window trim where your arm will not be touching frequently. Behind it, we have leather stitch trim, which is gushy soft armrest, decent storage, 4-window all-in-one touch, power folding mirrors, 4-way adjustable, and a decent amount of storage down below. You'll fit a footlong in there and a 30-ounce water bottle to wash it down. 2-person memory seats, Harman Kardon sound system, and it bumps. I want to say it makes 504 total watts. We get a Subaru plastic nameplate as we step inside. The seats are Napa leather for this top Touring XT trim, heated and ventilated, very well bolstered, perforated in the center, fully adjustable, 4-way lumbar control. You can recline, drop, lift, and slide the seats. Taking a step inside, we can really check it out. If I didn't mention, we also get adjustable thigh support for these front buckets. Really premium feeling interior, especially for the price point. Remember, this car starts under 43,000 bucks, and this car is basically a base, not a whole lot of options at all, with the total price out the door after destination at about 44,000 bucks before taxes and fees, of course. But first thing we notice is the steering wheel. It's pretty thick, solid 10-2 bolstering notch, and 9-3 fits perfect in your hands. We get paddle shifters for the line-driven CVT. On the left side, we have our volume and skip controls. Volume down below, you can hang up and answer your phone calls, voice commands, source, AM, FM, Sirius, and your infotainment adjustments. Speaking of that, right now we were looking at our compass with digital speedo beneath, music, clock, and outside temperature. It is a hot one today in St. Petersburg. Beneath that, average fuel economy, fuel remaining, average MPGs and fuel remaining, with some more trip information, tire pressure monitoring, compass, and right back to where we started. On the right side, we have radar cruise control adjustable with these buttons, steering assist, heated steering wheel in the corner. The horn area is rubberized. The horn itself, loud and aggressive. People should definitely be getting out of your way. We'll do a window check, see if we get dual panes. We don't get dual panes, but it's a pretty thick single pane of glass. We'll see how the isolation is once we take it out for a drive. The stocks have a very satisfying click. Auto headlamps, auto high beams. We have fog lights too. No auto rain sensing wipers. That would be nice for a top Touring trim, but the intermittent stock is right here in the center. To the left of the steering wheel, we have a tilt and telescope. It's not power. Leather stitching. Beneath that, we can open up the trunk, interior brightness, and you can turn off the electrical function for the trunk if you'd like to for one reason or another. There's also the trip reset right here. Some leather stitching around your air vent, which is outlined in aluminum. Hopefully you get a good look at the pedals. The dashboard is soft touch. We have an additional speaker for the Harman Kardon sound system in the center. 11.6-inch touchscreen coming standard on all trims above the base, and it is an impressive touchscreen. Usually I'm not a fan of the vertical layouts, but that's not the case here. You know why? Because we have hard buttons for the volume adjustments, the frosters, and our climate control settings. No, we don't have hard buttons for the heated and ventilated seats or the vent adjustments, but the actual temperature is adjusted with hard buttons. Thumbs up by me. You can see everything that's available: map, radio, media, phone, apps. We have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, of course. We have car info. Display can be turned off, valet mode, turn off the traction control, and add whatever shortcuts you would like. We'll take a quick look at the map. The response here is decent. It's not the best. The resolution, same thing. It's decent, not the best, but it does the job. If you don't like the display, you can always use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. I'll leave it here though. It's my personal favorite screen to look at all times. Up top, you can see the street you're currently on. Scroll over to see the Bluetooth and music information. Scroll over one more time to see the acceleration percentage, fuel consumption, and the steering angle. We can also see the weather for the next few days or for the next few hours with high and low. The final screens are X mode for off-road. It's like a trail assist. You can have it on or off. My personal favorite to look at all times would probably be this screen. We can see the acceleration, fuel consumption, and angle. Beneath that, you can turn on or off your auto start stop, vehicle dynamic settings, phone adjustments, and personal information. Heated and ventilated seats, dual zone automatic climate control, which you can turn on or off. Beneath that, electronic parking brake, aux port, USB-C, and USB-A port with a wireless charging pad. The gear selector controls the CVT transmission. We'll take a quick look at the backup camera. Decent resolution. It's not the best, but we get guidance lines and trajectory, front and rear parking sensing. Throwing it right back in a park, we return to the home screen. You press this button, you can also check out the camera at all times, but here we have a forward-facing camera. It's a 180-degree forward-facing camera. When you click it, it returns you to the home screen. A little bit of piano black around the gear selector, but pretty limited. You don't have to keep your cleaning supplies at hand. It's in a good location. Leather stitching for your knee will often hit. Nice attention to detail. The cup holders are pretty large. You'll fit 30-ounce cups in here or bottles with no problem. Nice pass-through for a phone. The armrest is also gushy soft. Hopefully you can pick it up on camera. The center console space, the first tier, you can throw some pens, business cards in there. And the bottom tier, that's the top tier. The bottom tier, decently spacious. You could fit 4, maybe 5 12-ounce cans, an additional 12-volt, and a CD changer with an eject button in the center. The glove box, above the glove box, we have the soft leather stitch trim, nice little oh crap handle. You can throw some gloves, phones, car accessories in there. Down below, more leather stitch trim. The glove box itself, we can drop it. It's damped, lined with felt. I was not expecting it to be lined with felt. Very premium feature. You're fitting 20, maybe a little bit more license plates. You'll fit a pair of shoes, possibly 2. We have a frameless auto-dimming rear view mirror, and it's a camera mirror. Hopefully you can pick that up for the drive. I'll leave it in its camera function. We have 3 garage home link settings and adjustments for the camera mirror. We have a sunglass holder too. Rollover warning, which is interesting for a wagon. I wouldn't expect this vehicle to roll over unless, God forbid, there was an accident. Interior lights are LED. We can open up the sunroof. It's not an auto opening sunroof. You got to press and hold, but it still opens up just about to the end of the front row. We can poke our way out of here. It is a hot one today in St. Petersburg, and it's getting humid, 96 degrees. We can shut it right up though, got to press and hold. I kind of wish it was an auto one touch. I mean, all 4 windows inside are auto one touch. It would only be expected for the sunroof to be 2. But that's my only complaint so far in this vehicle. That just speaks volumes of how impressed I really am. Again, with a base price under $43,000, after destination under $45,000, we get Napa leather seats, an engine that can do 60 in under 6 seconds, LED lighting, Harman Kardon sound system, 11.6-inch touchscreen, guys, and heated and ventilated seats if I didn't mention. This is a really loaded vehicle. Memory seats, 4-window, auto one touch. That's about it though, guys, for the front seat. Let's hop out back, see how much space is offered back here, as well as the overall quality of the materials. So same materials as up front with the leather stitching and soft touch material for the front. Huge attention to detail. The materials back here, again, gushy soft, auto one touch, decent storage up top, decent storage down below. You'll easily fit a 6-inch sub, 24-ounce bottle to wash it down, an additional Harman Kardon speaker. The rear seats, the padding goes all the way out to the door frame, perforated Napa leather. Legroom looks impressive. I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall sitting behind my seat settings, and I still have at least 4, 5, maybe even like 6 inches of overall knee room, headroom. I have at least 1 inch, maybe 2. I like how Subaru gives us this cutout so we have a little bit extra headroom. If you're under 6'4", 6'5", you should sit behind your seat settings with no problem. We get heated rear seats too, USB-C and USB-A port, and air vents to be expected for a top trim. We have 2 tiers of mat pockets behind both of the front seats. The armrest, no string, you got to jab your hand into it, but it's a pretty soft leather armrest. You'll fit 24-ounce bottles in there with no problem. Nice. The interior lights back here are LED. Awesome. That's about it though, guys, for the back seat. Let's check out the cargo space real quick and then take this car out for a drive. So far I'm impressed. Of course, it's not the flashiest vehicle on the road when it comes to exterior styling. Doesn't make a whole lot of noise when you drive it. Underneath the Subaru badge is the button, but it's an impressive vehicle when it comes to practicality and usable performance for everyday use. But first thing you notice is the massive size of this floor. You can fit some serious cargo back here. The step-in is nice and low. I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall. My knees right at the same level as the step-in. The head height is decent, so you can throw some pets back here. And with this low floor, they should have no problem hopping back here. We'll see if there's any secret storage down here. The floor mats might be a little bit in the way, but I'll try to figure it out. There we go. A little bit of secret storage around your jack and fix-a-flat kit. I'll see if there's anything underneath. Just your spare tire. That's about it though, guys. We also have a subwoofer here for the Harman Kardon sound system, some hooks that can be useful for certain situations, and you can fold down the rear seat. 60-40 split. I'd expect you to fit up to an 80-inch TV back here. This is a really large cargo space. You can shut this trunk down with a click of a button. You can also press this button to the left and it'll lock all 4 doors. But we don't need a lock, so we'll press that first button. It gives you a second to get out of the way so you don't get doofed in the head. That's about it though, guys, for the inside and outside of this all-new 2024 Subaru Outback Touring XT. It's an impressive vehicle. The inside, in my opinion, is a lot more impressive than the outside. It's not the flashiest looking vehicle. But that's why you go with the Subaru. You get it for the value, and speaking of value, this is probably one of the best premium values on the road today. Performance-wise, let's take this 2024 Outback Touring XT 2.4 Turbo out for a drive and see what it's got. All right, guys, now we're just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the all-new, top-of-the-line 2024 Subaru Outback Touring XT. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. My first impressions though, the steering feels nice and on center. The throttle is responsive, but you don't feel like gobs of low end torque. It's not what this motor is about. It's that mid-range, where compared to that regular 2.5, this is just miles ahead. Taking a step out here, we can lean into it about a third of the way. Yeah, good mid-range. Ride quality is excellent. You hardly feel any of the bumps, and it's a quiet interior. You don't really hear any road noise, wind noise, or at least not at lower speeds. We're only going about 30 miles per hour, 25 miles per hour. But yeah, the ride quality is still excellent. Steering feels good, even at higher speeds. We have a little bit more of a rough road coming up. We'll test out the ride quality over the bigger bumps. Right here, boom. Excellent. Bigger bumps, boom. This doesn't feel any worse of a ride quality compared to the Wilderness. The Wilderness may feel a little bit better, but it's so marginal that you can't even feel the difference while driving. The ride quality here is still downright excellent. If you don't need to go off-road consistently, this is plenty off-roady enough with the all-wheel drive system, and it is very docile and comfortable just driving around on the street. Taking a step out here, we could probably try an acceleration out off the line. Get situated. We're not going to brake torque it or anything. We'll turn on this camera mirror so you guys can see what's going on behind me. Just off the line, on the gas. Boost. Woo! Wow. And it continues to build up top. I love turbocharged engines like this, where it doesn't kill you in the beginning, but it also doesn't fall on its face up top. Once you cross about 3,000 RPM, that's when this power delivery really starts to shine. The turning radius is good. Taking a step back out here, about half throttle. Ooh. And you get a nice snarl too from that boxer engine. It's really quiet in here. You hardly hear it at all. It's nothing compared to like a WRX. But it still makes a pretty decent sound. We'll try these paddle shifters out. Fifth ratio, fourth, third on the gas. Good low end torque, and we're gone. This thing is a powerhouse. I don't remember the Wilderness feeling this quick. The Wilderness had beefier tires, a little bit higher up off the ground, just not quite as aerodynamic as the Touring XT that we have here, and you can definitely feel the difference. Taking a step out here, as soon as we get the chance, looks like we have the chance. Lean into it one more time on the gas. Ooh! Yeah! This is a quick vehicle. That's why you go with the turbo over just the regular Subaru Outback with a 2.5. The 2.5 is enough for most people. Most Outbacks that I see on the road are the 2.5. But if you're like me, you want to be able to lean onto the gas barely and still feel power. You don't want to have to crank the engine out to 4,500, 5,500 RPM just to feel a little bit of bite or just power from the motor itself. And that's the case here. Light throttle, this thing pulls well. Full throttle, this thing continues to build, which is something you can't say about all or most turbocharged four-cylinder engines. Taking a step out here, should be able to lean into it a little bit again. About half throttle. Good pull. Guys, this is a really powerful feeling motor. It almost feels like a six-cylinder engine the way that it continues to build up top. Subaru really knocked this out of the park. We reviewed a WRX recently, a 2023 WRX, which basically has the exact same motor, and it had a similar sensation, but I felt like it really picked up stronger in the beginning than it did up top. That's just not the case here. Maybe you can attribute that to having a little bit more overall weight. I don't know what it is, but the way that this motor continues to build up top is just, I've said it before, I'll say it again, just not something that I've felt with most turbo four cylinders. Uphill, steep hill on the gas. Woo! Still pulling. Yeah. Wow. Uphill, and it's pulling hard. We're gonna have to beat it up a whole lot further. Hopefully you can get the point when it comes to performance on this thing. Just cruising along now on the highway. We'll wait for the transmission to idle itself down because it probably thinks that I'm gonna be hammering on the gas again. But at highway speeds, we're barely turning over 1,000 RPM. That's how we average 25 mpgs in this thing, which is an impressive average for an all-wheel drive, spacious, family-ready, borderline off-road ready, SUV, wagon, whatever you like to call it. Turning radius, as you see, is super sharp. One more time on the gas. Woo, boost. Yeah. I wish it had a real transmission, not the CVT, but this CVT still does a pretty good job with the ratios. It feels almost like a conventional automatic, but not quite. Again, that's probably my only mechanical complaint. Other than that, this motor feels great. This vehicle feels great. Bumps, road noise on concrete pavement, non-existent. The CVT does a great job adjusting for hills, so it doesn't really feel like the vehicle downshifts going uphill, if you know what I mean. Especially with 4 cylinders, I know you know what I mean. How you skip 2, maybe even 3 gears just to make it up a hill. Overall, guys, if you're looking for a family vehicle, you need a little bit more power, you need a little bit more space, but you don't want to spend over $45,000-ish. I genuinely cannot think of a better vehicle for you. I mean, heated, ventilated, Napa leather seats, 2 memory seat settings, so if you're sharing with a spouse, girlfriend, you can just press a button and return right back where you were. The 504-watt Harman Kardon sound system, leather, Napa leather materials just about everywhere where you touch, and where there isn't Napa leather, you still have soft touch materials, guys. If you're looking for a premium, powerful, spacious, family-ready, off-road-ready vehicle, I would definitely recommend checking out the 2024 Subaru Outback Touring XT. And a big thanks to Bert Smith Subaru in St. Petersburg, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to their inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car or SUV in the St. Petersburg, Clearwater, Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out. And huge thanks to all of you for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too, it really helps me out the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment, let me know what you like, let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment, let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you want to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.